Hey everyone, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. It's Dr. Eric Naputi. Hope you guys are having a blessed day wherever in the world you are. Hey, listen, I wanted to do just a quick message to all of you today. I, I know many of you feel the same way I do, that we've been lied to, we've been misinformed, we've been jaded by our supposed healthcare system. How many I would agree that it's disappointing of where we're at and where we think we should be when it comes to our health? You guys give me a thumbs up. You can see me and hear me. Let me know wherever in the world you're watching from. I want to kind of rant a little bit this morning. I had an interesting conversation with a group of doctors early this morning that I work with, and we were just talking about a lot of the problems that we've had. And we've got to wake up. We got to wake up to what's happening. Over the last 20 years, I've been a healthcare practitioner that's been focusing on helping people find the root cause of their problems. And I've just watched the health industry literally de-evolve into an absolute circus. I mean, when I say circus, I mean clown shows with white coats, people wearing, clowns with white coats, juggling pharmaceutical pills and dancing to whatever song Big Pharma tells them to do, or following the regulations of what the government tells them they should do, and what's happening a lot now. And look, I think that there's some good to this, but every single influencer or TikToker that's out there, whatever the flavor of the week is, whether it's methylene blue, whether it's a peptide, whether it's a whatever it may be. I mean, let me prove my point to you. So, during COVID, and alongside, by the way, alongside thousands of other healthcare practitioners and professionals, um, did what was the most honest thing doctors could do. We told people the truth. I mean, we told people the truth. We recommended people should improve their lives. They should improve their health. They should reduce their risk factors. They should lower their blood pressure, lower their blood sugars. They should strengthen their immune system. They should be using certain vitamins and nutrients and proven technologies and techniques that can help improve cellular health and cellular function. And you know what happened? We saved the lives of thousands and tens of thousands of people, and we helped millions of people across the globe really find out what health was when people weren't getting any advice and they didn't know what to do. I mean, that's where the healthcare space was and still is to this day. We're seeing a lot of changes happen in America. Secretary Kennedy just fired the 17 members of the vaccine approval, the ACIP approval committee. And we're going to be seeing real medicine, or at least we're hearing the remnants of real science coming into real medicine. But I just want to say this, but instead of other doctors being a part of the solution, the corrupt healthcare system and the weaponized branches of our federal government not only came after me, but came after colleagues of mine. And I was sued for $508 billion. Many of you have probably remembered the disinformation dozen. This is Sherry Tenpenny, Del Bigtree, Joe Mercola, Sarah J., Christiane Northrup. I mean, there's a lot of people that were on that list. And Dr. Ben Tapper and so many others that were on that list. But what's interesting is we were responding to the people. I mean, they tried to destroy us. They tried to destroy our businesses. They tried to destroy our livelihood. They threatened me and my colleagues with jail time. They tried to revoke my license multiple times. They tried to revoke other doctors' license. The disinformation dozen just filed a lawsuit against the United States federal government. And after years of waging these battles, we now are starting to see some change break through. But the same therapies that we recommended during COVID that are now being recommended to help people, I'm going to give you an analogy. The same remedies that we're recommending for people to detoxify their body. I mean, we live in a very toxic world, and modern medicine is not a accounting for that. In fact, it's almost like they're turning a complete blind eye to it. I mean, think about this just for a minute. You want to know what else is really missing in healthcare is leadership. We've got influencers but not experts. We've got salesmen but not scientists. We've got algorithms but no wisdom. And sorry if I sound like I'm ranting here, but the public, most of you have been manipulated to think that the newest, latest supplement or the latest peptide stack is cutting edge science. And you think that this new trend is the answer that you're looking for to lose your weight or to get rid of your suffering. And you're chasing sizzle and no substance. And that's really what a lot of people are doing. And people say, but doc, I want to feel better. I got to do this to feel. No, I get it. I want you to feel good, but I want you to understand that I want you to function better. Because the big difference between feeling better and being better is a big difference. I mean, let's paint a big picture about this. Let's say you got a warning light going off in your car, and you can either put some duct tape over it or turn your music up, or you can get real serious and go find the cause of the problem and get it looked at. And most of the causes of the problems that we as humans have are not that complex. They're actually pretty simple. We live in a toxic world. Our cells are toxic. So we need to detoxify our cells. We can use formulas like the Detox Pro Plus. We can use detoxification remedies and methods, both physical and chemical. We can remove a lot of these toxins from our environment the best that we can, but we're never going to avoid all these toxins 100%. So we need to number one, be reducing the toxic load in our system. Probably one of the most common sense conversations that a human being can have. The second issue we have is our cells aren't signaling like they used to. And our cells communicate through vibration and frequency. I mean, that's known. We know that. They communicate through impulses and through the nervous system and through chemicals, and they vibrate at a specific frequency. And as we get over the age of 90, over the age of 30, we lose about 90% of the functionality of the frequency of those cells. So we've got to do something to improve the frequency. Our pH is going down and our inflammation is going up. We created a formula called Cell Signal to do just that. You need to use methylated B vitamins. You need to use certain dipeptides to keep blood flow and circulation going. You need to have certain amino acids that are essential for the body so that the cells can communicate properly, so the cells of your brain can communicate with the cells of your gut and vice versa. I mean, this is not difficult. We also need to repair the gut microbiome. Our gut microbiome, which is where the vast majority of our immune system is from, and the vast majority of our neurotransmitters that make our brain express happiness and gratitude and all these other things that are out there. We should be doing that every day. We should be doing that every single day. And all of us have a program that we're supposed to follow in our bodies. And a simple genetic test can tell us how to live that DNA lifestyle of what's best for you and how you should be living. But I want you to understand that healing may not be sexy, but it's science. I mean, it's most of you have been sold that put some duct tape on it, take the latest and greatest peptide stack, or take the latest, industrial compound that's out there, which, you guys, methylene blue's been around for a long time. And 20 years ago, it was really popular, and it'll be popular again in 20 years when influencers get a hold of it again. It's going to come and go. In a couple of months, nobody will be talking about methylene blue. Look at the peptide world. People are still talking about peptides, but not in the way that they used to months ago or even a few years ago. I just want you to understand it's consistency that's the key to the breakthrough. And it's consistency on a cellular level. I don't care what disease you've been dealt with, heart disease, cancer, diabetes, stroke. If your brain's not working right, if your body's not working right, there are things that can be done to improve this. And it takes your gut time to heal. It takes your cells time to heal. It takes your red blood cells time to heal. If you're not giving your body at least 90 to 120 days of staying consistent with something, you're never going to be able to get the breakthrough that you want. ever, 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 ever. And I know that you guys are excited about a lot of the products and a lot of the technologies that we brought out to the community. Chris just asked the question: Can can you take the Detox Pro with water only, without salts and lemons? Yeah, of course. You can just take it, dump it right in your mouth. You can brush your teeth with it. If I can get everybody, to use the detox formula, if I can get everybody to use the cell signal formula, if I can get everybody to use the master microbiotics, if I can get folks to eat for their genetic profile, whatever your chronotype is, or whatever your body type is, or whatever your genetic expression, if we can get people to do that, we can move the dial and we can make some changes. But the system is so jacked up and it's rigged against you. What if I told you that it's not difficult to reverse type 2 diabetes? What if I told you that there are risk factors that you can avoid and reverse to avoid Alzheimer's and dementia? What if I told you that irritable bowel syndrome and food allergies and food sensitivities, what if I told you these things were not difficult to overcome, but it's not going to be found in a pill, potion, lotion, or even a supplement? What if I told you that you cannot out supplement a poor lifestyle? What if I told you that you deserve to be healthy and there are simple action steps that you can create, you can do to create the reality that you want to have? But folks, you don't have to just take my word for it. There are people all across the globe that are getting amazing results, that are doing the right things by implementing what we are teaching them. This is called common sense health. Common sense health is just not that common. And it's Chuck asked this great question. He says, what would be the best start with the DNA test to get the basis understanding? So, Chuck, there's a genetic test that we run. The genetic test is a single nucleotide polymorphism test, and your DNA is not your destiny, but it's a blueprint for you. It's a great way for you to understand how to live your life. We measure about 800,000 different genes in the body, and then we can tell people how they should eat, how they should sleep, how they should exercise based off of that. But many of you are asking questions about metabolism. And did you know that we have a rhythm to our metabolism? And everybody's rhythm is a little different. There are different chronotypes. How many of you ever heard of chronotypes? There's 4 basic chronotypes. And every chronotype has a metabolic strategy behind it. Some people are early risers. Some people are late night owls. Some people do better eating dinner and lunch. Some people do better eating breakfast and lunch. Some people do better with 1 meal a day. Everybody's body's uniquely different. And based off of your circadian cycles, based off of your chronotypes, based off of your body type, there are 4 body types as well. So knowing all those things, we can take all these data points and we can make a plan for you. And I want you to be able to have the ability to do that on your own. I don't want you to have to rely on a supposed expert like a doctor, a wellness influencer, or even myself. I want you to have the map, the keys in the car, but you still have to drive that thing. Because if you're not driving it, you're not going to be able to get the results that you're looking for. And I know how frustrated people are. I know how disgusted people are with this sick care model that's broken. I mean, I have people that come see me from all over the world, literally every day, or I speak to people all over the world via every day that have health challenges and nobody's giving them common sense solutions. I just spoke to a gentleman just the other day who's getting his 3rd treatment, 3rd surgery on cancer in his body. And he had it done 8 years ago, was in remission for 18 months. Then he had it done again a couple of years after that, was in remission for 18 months. Now it's back again. And the reason why his remission is there is because no one's ever talked to him about changing his lifestyle or the triggering factors that actually caused this problem in the first place. You see, common sense is not that common. Common sense is not that common. I'm telling you that all these fads are going to come and go. These fad diets, these fad products, these fad, whatever they may be, the latest, greatest Vita Vita Vegemin program that's out there, those are going to come and they're going to go. And I feel like I'm sounding like an old man now because I remember doctors when I was younger saying, all these things will come and go. They're going to come and go. But the tried and true processes of what really makes a human healthy, it's not sexy, but it's necessary. It's proper detoxification, number one. It's number two, rebuilding your gut microbiome. It's number three, making sure that your cells are signaled proper. And it's number four, getting the proper amounts and the right quality and quantity of food and nutrients that your body individually needs. Like, that's what you need to do. That's what you need to do. If you can follow those patterns and those protocols, man, I'm telling you, that's the way to go. So listen, somebody asked me another question here. Laura says, hey, I bought the Wellness Warrior Water Detox thinking it was part of your wellness center. Is it okay for me to take? Listen, the Wellness Warrior Water, listen to me. Wellness Warrior is a company I started back in 2016. During the pandemic, I brought on two partners. Those two partners were to help with logistics and to help with marketing because I was so busy during COVID trying to save the world that I didn't have time to keep up with all that. Those two partners got scared to death when the United States government came after me. And when I said, hey, I'm a wellness warrior, not a wellness weenie, those guys, not me, those guys took a settlement from the United States federal government for $1 million. They took $1 million out of my pocket, $1 million out of my family's pocket. My partners did, paid the government. Then they fired me from my job as the chief wellness officer of Wellness Warrior. I'm still a manager on paper, which means owner, and they're using my name and likeness to try to manipulate people into using their products and services. That water's not even black anymore. I don't know what's in it. I don't know who manufactures it. I have nothing to do with that company, nor have I for the last 2 years. If somebody wants to screen record that and send that into one of those groups, I started Common Sense Health. Those guys stole it from me. I started Wellness Warrior. Those guys stole it from me. Listen, the devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And don't ever forget to think that there are people that are sheep's in wolves' clothing, okay? So no, I don't recommend the Warrior Water because I don't use it anymore, and it's not something that's beneficial for my patients. Okay, check this out. Here's another question. Kim says, why would anyone get a DNA test? You don't want the government getting that info and using it against you. Okay, Kim, let me just ask you a question. I mean this with love and respect. Why are you assuming that that's happening? And by the way, anyone born after 1996 has a DNA sample on file with every single hospital and with the government. If you've ever given blood, you've ever donated blood, those are there. So I don't want you to give out false information and thinking that the government's going to get a hold of your DNA. By the way, it's my DNA test. It's our DNA company. We control the samples. We do everything autonomously, which is why sometimes it's a pain in the butt. If you don't take a picture and remember your code that we give you, it's hard for us to go back and look that up. But nobody's getting your information. It's not going to a repository. In fact, after it's done, it gets sent off to it gets incinerated. There's nowhere to save it. Look, I understand the concerns like 23andMe. That organization grabbed your genetics, sold it because it wasn't a genetic company. It was an educational company trying to get your information. And there are other DNA companies that are out there doing the same thing right now. I use genetic testing as one of many tests to get an idea of how to help my patients. By the way, if you do a saliva sample, a blood sample, a hair sample, those are things that you could get your genetics. They can get genetics from you as well. Just have some common sense about it. I understand what you're saying, but just have some common sense about it, okay? I'm going to answer one or two more questions. Carrie says, when taking D3, is K2 a must? No, it's not. Vitamin D has its own receptor sites in the body. Vitamin K2 does not do anything for absorption. The only thing that vitamin K2 can help with is it'll allow your body not to absorb calcium as much. Vitamin D mobilizes calcium, and sometimes in some cases, if people have issues with this, they metabolize calcium and vitamin D together. K2 helps with that. You don't need K2 if you eat any fermented soy, and it's also in nattokinase as well. Magnesium, by the way, does do a lot with perfect. Does do a lot with absorption of vitamin D as well. Great question. Let's see. Let's see. Another question. I tell you what, let's do this. First of all, you guys got some great questions. Don't forget that tomorrow, Wednesday nights, every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, you go to the website, biolimitless.com/live, biolimitless.com/live. If you go to that site, you'll be able to see there the events and workshops that I'm doing every Wednesday night. Every Wednesday night at 6 o'clock, I do an event there. Here's one more question. Jamie's got one. Do you recommend any doctors in Colorado for Epstein-Barr virus? Just asking for help. Epstein-Barr, cytomegalovirus, and the Lyme disease are showing their ugly little heads now more than they have in a long time, since really the last 20 years I've been in healthcare. And why is that? That's because the spike protein that was in the SARS-CoV-2 virus and that's in the vaccine. So whether you got infected naturally or injected with an infection, you guys know what that is. What happens is those spike proteins actually suppress the T cells in the body. The T cells are what keeps Epstein-Barr virus at bay. So you just need to focus on improving your T cell function, James. So what we do with our patients is we put them on a ketogenic carnivore food plan. Number two, we get them on methylated B vitamins. I use a formula called Cell Signal for every one of my patients with EB. I put them on the Detox Pro Plus the first 45 days. They do 2 dropperfuls 3 times a day in water. We get out of their diet absolutely zero any gluten, dairy, red dyes, yellow dyes, that kind of stuff as well. You need to get those out of your system. We also load them up on our master microbiotic formula because a lot of the immune system is in the gut associated lymphatic tissue, the GALT, if you will, is what it's called. That is where a lot of the the actual tissues of immune function are. So getting the gut right gets the immune system right. And then a lot of times we'll put them on astragalus. Astragalus is an herb, about 1,000 milligrams a day. James, that could potentially help as well. But there's many things that you can do to help your body as well. Last one I'm going to say is this. Okay, so Lena says, do you have any information on sunscreen if it's bad for you? Seeing skin is the biggest organ. The endothelial calyx is the biggest organ. Skin's number 2. I don't use sunscreen. I don't recommend it for many of my patients. Most of our people that we do recommend any type of sunscreen, sunblock for, we might mix a little zinc oxide with some coconut oil with them, and that's it. But if your vitamin D levels are adequate, the chances of you having a sunburn are actually really low. And if you don't have a lot of omega 6 oils, so a lot of fried foods, or if you have a lot of bad oils in your body, those are going to cause you to have a sunburn. Having ample amounts of omega 3s and omega 9s are really beneficial. Very beneficial. I'm not a big fan of sunscreen at all. So folks, hey, hope you guys enjoyed this. Make sure that you're tuning in this week. I'll do an AMA later this week. I'll do an Ask Me Anything. We're going to do that on Thursday around 7 p.m. And then on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Time, we're going to do our Wednesday night workshop, which you guys can always go to our website. That's biolimitless.com/live, biolimitless.com/live. Hey guys, until we meet again, I'm Dr. Eric Naputi. God bless you. God bless America, and God bless this beautiful, beautiful world. Y'all stay smart out there, and I'll see you soon. Be well.